What the hell? I can't even have a moment of privacy here? What are you doing? Stop looking at me. Alright, fine. Since you're here, I guess I answer your question. So, I had this question posed to me the other day, and it was this. Well, Tim, how do you approach offline businesses without getting all nervous or frustrated or upset or worried and stressed out, basically, about approaching offline businesses? And I thought it's a pretty good question, so I thought I'd shoot a personalized video for you and explain to you exactly how I do it. I didn't realize that it was going to be this personalized. Frankly, it's kind of creepy. Just go with it. So, how do I do that? How do I basically approach offline businesses without the fear of rejection, without really getting worried about what they say to me? Well, I always like to relate things back to when I was dating, because you can learn a lot about marketing and sales in the dating market. Excuse me one second. What I like to do is this, okay? I like to underwhelm myself, and I like to go through this little exercise. This really helped me out when I was dating, and it really helps me out now when I'm talking with offline clients. And that is this very easy and simple exercise. In fact, you can do it at home. What you do is you take out a piece of paper, okay, and you start writing down, what is the worst that can happen to me, okay? So write down, what is the worst that can happen to you? So what I want you to do is I want you to picture, I want you to think, I want you to imagine in your mind that you're contacting an offline business. Let's just say via email, okay? So you contact them via email. What is the worst that can happen to you? Well, let's talk about it, okay? They can say no. They could write back this huge, long, 12-page letter and forward it to your mother and everybody on your Facebook profile, talking about how you're a scammer and a spammer and how you should die in a fire and how they regret that your children were ever born, right? Or they could say yes. Or they might even say maybe. What else could they say to you? Write all of that down, okay? And you can do this for every form of contact that you want to make. So what I mean by that is you can do it for email, you can do it for phone, you can do it for in-person visits, you can do it for video responses, however you want to do it, okay? Totally up to you, your decision how you want to do that. I work through them all. So again, for a phone, what could they do for you? They could say yes, they could say maybe, they could hang up the phone, they could cuss you out, they could yell at you and slam the phone down, they could tell you never to call them again, right? They could get really flustered and bothered and upset and be all internet tough, right? And be a big bad buff guy over the phone when they're really like 4'2" and like 98 pounds soaking wet. So think about that. You see, I used to have this big fear back in dating, is that I'd go up to approach a woman and I'd have this fear that she'd slap me in the face, that she'd throw a drink on me, that she'd be cruel, that she'd make jokes at me, that she'd point out my obvious flaws, right? And make me feel like less of a human being. That's what I thought in my mind. But here's the reality. When I approach women in the real world, okay, not only were they polite and kind, right, but they went out of their way not to hurt my feelings. So if they weren't interested in me, okay, in the rare chance they weren't interested in all this, hello, right, in all seriousness, if they weren't interested in me, they were polite and kind when they said no. Oh, I already have a boyfriend. Oh, thank you, I'm not interested. Oh, I appreciate it, that's very kind. No, thank you. I never once ran into anyone that threw a drink in my face, slapped me, demeaned me, made me feel like less of a person. You see, what I had in my mind was much, much bigger and badder than what happened in reality. I almost guarantee you that that's what's happening in your mind as well. So if you sit down and do this exercise, you'll be able to realize all the stuff that in your mind is keeping you from doing it. In reality, it's going to be much different. Now, I'm not going to say that you're not going to occasionally run into the jerk or the asshole, basically, that tries to ruin your day by making snide comments or being rude or stuff like that. I get that all the time, okay? And I get more actually online marketing than I do offline marketing, because everyone's a tough guy over the internet, right? So here's what I would tell you to do. That's going to be the minority response. So you approach 100 businesses, maybe one of them is a jerk for you. So what you do is you focus on the majority and don't worry about the minority. The great thing is you have the ability to control your response to that. You get a mean, nasty email, delete it, right? Don't even engage. I've tried to engage those people in the past. Here's the truth. You can't fix stupid, and I'm too smart to work with stupid people, and you are too. So my point being that if you get someone that's negative, if you get someone that hangs up on the phone or is real mean to you on the phone or tells you to get out of their store if you go visit them in person, don't worry about it. They're going to be the minority. And when you're successful, when you help other businesses make a lot of money, you can always go back and point out to them, hey, you remember when I tried to work with you on this and you said no thanks? I just want to point out that Jim Bob's electrician, is having their best year ever as a result. So again, something to think about, something for you to use on your daily basis. So write down all the stuff you think is going to happen, and I guarantee you, in 99 out of 100 cases, it will never be as bad as you think up here in reality. So I hope this has helped. If you've got a question you'd like me to answer out of the bathroom, feel free to post it in the comments below. And as always, check out my blog at www.timothycastleman.com. Got to go wash my hands. Have a great one. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.